host of the Gridiron.
So, now he's not actually right now, as of right now. I mean, he's like Mr. Consistency, Darius Slayton here, right? Great stream. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you. But with he's usually around 700. Now, last year I think he had the most of his career, Slayton, as far as yardage. Now he's on pace for not quite 700 yards. Let me see here. Let me pop this off here. All on there. Let me get my trusty calculator out here. Got to find it first. All right, so let's go here. Where's Darius Slayton? Now, I mean, he's almost a mile of consistency. Absolute, borderline mediocre quarterback play. Usually atrocious offensive line. We can't score any points. This, that, and the other thing. And almost every year he has like 700 or so yards received. With a bad team, 700. I said this year so far, let's see, what's he got? He is on, he's played in 11 games. So he's missed one. So in 11 games, 477 yards divided by 11. 43 yards a game he's averaging. All right, so he's 477. Let's clear that there. 477. Plus, plus 43. Now, this is if he winds up playing. Oh, no, he might have 700, yeah. If he averages, it would be just short. Oh, no. Yeah, just short. If he averages 43 yards a game for the next 5 games, he'll have 692. So it'll be close. Be very, very close. I thought it was even less than that. But according to this, he's averaging 43 receiving yards a game. If he does that for the next 5 games, he'll have 692. So he should, at that rate, anything can happen. He can have a 100-yard game. He can get shut, whatever. The way we're playing, anything's possible with the New York Football Giants. So, but he's on pace to get very close to another 700 yards. So if he did that, right, what do we got here? His rookie season, he had 740, 751. Then in 2021, he only had 339. He had played 13 games, only started 5 though. But then he had 724, and last year he had the most of his career. He had 770. So 4 out of his first 5 complete seasons, he's had at least 724 yards in 4 out of his 5 seasons. Just a model of consistency. I mean, as I said, usually a lot of, mediocre, borderline, whatever you want to call it, quarterback play, trash, mediocre, whatever kind of quarterback play. Offensive line, not very good. We don't score a lot of points. We don't keep the ball a lot, blah, 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 all that stuff and everything. And he's 700 yards almost every year. So, do the Giants, the Giants have, obviously, we got Malik, right? We got Wan'Dale Robinson, right? What are we doing with Hyatt? What's going on with him, right? Obviously, we got him for another 2 seasons. Is he part of the solution or is he part of the problem? Did we overdraft him? Did we trade up for him and he just can't run routes and he's going to be kind of like relegated to the bench? And if that's the case, are we going to make a play at Darius? Of course, Darius and Daniel Jones were buddy. They came in together. Daniel Jones first round, Darius Slayton 5th round pick, but they came in together. They played, a lot of Darius Slayton's receptions are from Daniel Jones. So does Slayton maybe want a fresh start someplace else? The Giants only gave him $6 million. Right, so he took a pay cut to be here. He held out a little bit in preseason. He wanted maybe a little bit extra money. The Giants offered him some incentives, which I don't think he's going to be gaining any of them. So he came back. But I mean, this might be his last year, and he's going to fly the coop. Possibly. And then, of course, once again, it'll be a slap in the Giants' face. Darius Slayton goes someplace else and winds up getting 900 yards or, 7-8 touchdown receptions and, looking phenomenal and all that stuff, just like a lot of other players the Giants let go. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, of course, Saquon, Xavier McKinney, and just a lot of the other guys, they wind up leaving the Giants and they go someplace else and they slap the Giants in the face. They got a stupid jar. But it's quite possible. So we get Darius Slayton may be the next Giant to find stardom elsewhere. That's quite possible. Do the Giants, want to, ante up some money to keep? I mean, if Dable's around, this to be he's been in with the Dable system for 3 seasons. He knows the offense. He knows it well, right? He's been relatively healthy, right? Do they want to ante up though, or does he want to stay here? Who knows, right? But you don't need to be a fortune. This is from New York Post. You don't need to be a fortune teller, just a Giants fan well-versed in Murphy's Law to see the future. Headline now. Free agent steal. Darius Slayton has first career 1,000-yard season after leaving the Giants. You can see it written in the stars, can't you? Right? I mean, Saquon Barkley is running for 37,000 yards, right? Xavier McKinney has, what does he have, 415 interceptions after 2 games this season? Yeah, so you can just see it written in the stars, right? Things weren't bad enough at home during the 2-10 season for the Giants. It seems that a former Giant is excelling somewhere during every NFL television window. Yeah. Saquon is threatening to break the NFL season single rushing record. Xavier McKinney leads the league in interceptions. Julian Love just said that Leonard Williams is playing at a defensive player of the year level after they both made huge plays in Seahawks win against the Jets. Also for Leonard Williams, let's not forget the Jets drafted Leonard Williams too. So I'm sure he had, he was back at MetLife Stadium playing against the Jets. So I'm sure he had, I don't remember, I don't remember Leonard Williams having 13 sacks against the Giants when the Giants beat him. I remember him being in on a few tackles and stuff like that, but I don't remember him going off like a madman against the Giants. But it is what it is. The most dependent. Yep. As he cannot. Yep. Well, the one thing was that Darius had some problems dropping some passes. He seemed to have gotten a lot better with that. I mean, I remember there was a couple. I mean, he had quite a few of them. One of them was I think the game that we lost against, I don't know what they were called. I don't remember. They were Redskins, the Commanders, the Washington Football, the WTFF, the WTFs, the WFTs. 1932, they were the Boston Braves. 33-36, they were the Boston Red. So I don't know what they were called, but there was the one game Daniel Jones threw the ball. I mean, it was tough, but right off, Darius is wide open in the end zone off his fingertips. He had a bad drop in the Minnesota game. I can't remember if that was the playoff game or if that was the regular season game in 2012. So he had some drops. But he's gotten a lot better. He's gotten a lot better. But the thing is, like every year, it's like 700 yards on a crappy team every year. Just mild consistency. I mean, you can almost see him with better line play, a better quarterback, especially if he was the number 2 wide receiver. Like if he was like, say, with Minnesota. Say he went to Minnesota. Justin Jefferson's the man, right? He's the sheriff, right? You got 37 guys trying to quadruple team him and everything. Right? You got Darius Slayton running around, right? And you can certainly see where his numbers would go up without question. I remember when Jones was mad with me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if that was the Minnesota game. I think it was the Minnesota game. I love to see Jones, man. That really shows. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, didn't do that a lot. Nope, didn't do that a lot. Or maybe if he did, maybe he kept it inside. Yeah. Say. They're all really good football players, so obviously they're going to make plays, Slayton said after Monday's practice. But we have plenty of capable football players in this building. If we can just get everybody to play to the level that they're capable of simultaneously, then we'll be all right. And it's another thing, man. You know, the guy, you know, always he's just a, you know, he's a pro's pro. You know what I mean? He always says like the right things. He doesn't seem like he causes problems or anything like that. You know what I mean? The first year that Dable came in the Shane, and I mean, we had so many receivers that Slate was on the practice squad. And of course, due to injuries, and then they finally started saying, this guy Slayton's not bad. You know, he started escalating. You know what I mean? He was on the practice, you know, right? And then he worked his way onto the team and all of that. You know, so he's just like a pro's pro. You know, Slayton, his team with all those players over his 6 seasons, tied with Dexter Lawrence as the longest tenured Giants. Wouldn't he expect better results than a 31-63-1 record since 2019 with various combinations of those players together? You would think, Slayton said, for whatever reason, it didn't work. We have to find a way to make it work with what we have here now. It was a diplomatic, leader-like response from Slayton, who might only have 5 games left in his Giants tenure. And I hate that, man. You see a guy like him. You know, I mean, I hate when you draft him, and he's like a model of consistency, all that, and then you just wind up, you know. And some of it also has to do with the fact that he wasn't drafted by Dable and all of that. You know, that's a lot. That's got a lot to do with stuff like that. You know what I mean? They didn't draft him. You know what I mean? So it's always easy. Just get rid of him. We'll get rid of him and we'll find somebody else. It's like, you know, it's like, who else are you going to find, you know, to give you 800 yards receiving a season, you know, for like, you know, for not a lot of money? Who are you going to find? You know, it's like, he's headed toward free agency for the second time after he tried to leverage a new contract from the Giants by skipping voluntary spring workouts, but wound up settling for boosted incentives that won't be reached in the NFL's second to last ranked passing offense. Yeah. So it's not hard to picture an analytical NFL front office with a big play-minded quarterback seeing Slayton as possessing an untapped ceiling. He ranks number 5 among active receivers behind A.J. Brown, Mike Williams, Mike Evans, and Justin Jefferson with 15 yards per catch in his career. I mean, you look. I mean, let's see here. What's he got? Slayton, 15.4, 15, 13. That was his worst season. 15.7, 15.4. This year he's averaging 14 yards of reception. So, I mean, every year, 700, 750 yards receiving. On a crappy team, 15 yards of reception. I mean, consistent. You see, this year he missed 1 game. 2022, he missed 1 game. 2021, he must have missed, I guess, 4 games. That's the year he only had 330. He was injured then. I don't remember what it was, but 2020, he missed, he played the whole season. 2019, his rookie season, he missed 2 games. So relatively always healthy, just a model of consistency. Right. And unfortunately, you know, for some reason, whatever it is, the Giants just don't seem to want that. Well, we'll get rid of him. We'll get somebody else in there. Okay. I think I've improved every year that I've been in the NFL, Slayton said. Whenever the season ends, I believe I'll go into the off-season work, and I'll come back a better version of myself for year 7. So that's just something that I personally take pride in, regardless of my team situation or whatever. Part of the reason for Slayton's return to the Giants on a 2-year, $12 million, $6 million a season was the allure of maintaining chemistry with the 2019 draft classmate and close friend Daniel Jones. Well, we know that's not happening next season. Having to learn a new quarterback's tendencies regardless would seem to level the playing field. The receiver market also jumped last offseason when players with similar career production to Slayton, like Gabe Davis of the Jaguars and Darnell Mooney of the Falcons, signed matching 3-year, $39 million contracts. So they got $13 million a season. Meanwhile, he stayed with the crappiest team in the NFL for $6 million a year. He's basically making half of what those other guys are making. So, and basically, and you can't blame him either, because the big dream of all these players, is they want to try to get that at least that one nice payday. Now, obviously, Darius has made some money, over his career. It's not what he wants to make, but you figure his 6th season is this 2 years of 4. He's made probably $16 million, which, if he doesn't want, he can give to me. I'll take $16 million, but it's not what an NFL player's like. You like to get at least that one payday. Now, for him, is it going to be $20 million a year? No. But, you can certainly see where, somebody will throw double digits at him, 2-3 year double digits, maybe 3 years, 30 million from somebody. You could see that. That would be, that's what he's looking for, obviously. Sorry, buddy. I'm sorry, pal. My dog Randy's laying at my feet, and every time I move my feet, so I don't know where he's at. Sometimes he shifts his body, and I want to hit. Sorry, buddy. But, with him, right? He can get that one nice payday, right? And if he can get a 3-year, $30 million, of course, the $3 million, 30, you don't get the 30. He might want it with maybe half of that after the agent takes some and the taxes and all that. But if he can get himself $15 million, plus consider also the money that he's made already, okay, all right, now he's talking. Because his 6th season, the amount of years he has left is coming down. Doesn't mean he'll be retiring tomorrow or nothing like that. But if he can get his one nice payday, that would be huge for him. Absolutely huge, because his payday from the Giants has not come. He's been very good to the team, and the team has not been very good to him. So, Slayton's value to the Giants this season includes helping teach a complex for receivers offensive scheme to rookie Malik Neighbors during the week and helping him make on-field adjustments. He's always done whatever we asked of him, head coach Brian Daboll said. A model of consistency, Slayton is on pace to land between 46 and 50 catches for the 5th time and fall just short of his 17-game average of 744 receiving yards. That would be the 17 game, and he's only going to play 16 games this year. So if he played in his 16 games, plays all 16, he's on average to come close to 700 yards. Maybe he can get it. That would be freaking awesome. And that would, that would just, when he goes out in the free agency, they look at him. He spent 6 years. He has 700 yards receiving in 5 of those 6 years. It's like, that would really be great for him. He has spoken in the past about how that is not a range that I think are reflective of what I'm capable of. Slayton has played under 3 different head coaches, 5 offensive play callers, and 3 position coaches, alongside 9 different quarterbacks. Talking about a recipe for disaster, huh? And never in an offensive ranked higher than number 18 league-wide. Jesus Christmas. That just goes to show you, right? Is that like what's late? You take like Saquon, right? Take him from this giant who he's never been on a team like higher than like number 18 or whatever, right? Put him on a team like the Eagles and see what he does, right? Saquon's like, oh my God, there are good offensive teams out there. Oh my God, look, put him on a good one, right? With a nice quarterback, 2 phenomenal wide receivers. Goddard's a very good tight end, a good offensive line. Eagles offensive line coach is phenomenal. That guy is off the charts. First name's Jeff. I can't remember it. Jeff S. I can't remember it, but he's a real good offensive line coach. And that obviously, helps why he has so many rushing yards, right? But, put Saquon on a good team and see what he does, right? See what he can do. You take Slayton, put him from a crappy team like the Giants, put him on a good team and see what he can do, right? As I said, put him on a good team, but also one that's willing to pay him. And Darius might be saying sayonara to the New York Football Giants after the season's over. Then you know what I mean? I can't blame him. Can't blame him at all. And if Darius goes on another team, I'll be one of his biggest fans. Guy's been absolutely freaking fantastic his whole time here. A model teammate.